India Today TV, along with 70 other news channels, is a proud member of the News Broadcasters Association since 2007. We strictly follow the code of ethics and guidelines issued by NBSA. Beware of unregulated channels.
We begin the bulletin by talking about the latest in the investigations in the drug case of Bollywood. Many see this as an operation cleanup. Others say that this is an absolute witch hunt. Now, actor Deepika Padukone will be questioned by officers of the Narcotics Control Bureau at 10 tomorrow morning. So less than 12 hours to go for actor Deepika Padukone. She will be questioned at the NCB guest house in Mumbai. Trouble mounts for Deepika Padukone ahead of the grilling because information that's now emerging seems to indicate that Deepika Padukone was actually the administrator of that WhatsApp group on which the drug chat took place. And there are a number of questions that NCB officers have for Deepika Padukone. Why was she the admin of the WhatsApp group? Were these drugs procured for for consumption, or for others? What was the mode of payment? There are multiple questions, but I quickly want to cut across to India Today's Saurabh Akhtani in a moment. We'll also be joined by Munish Pandey for more on this. Saurabh, let's take this step by step. Deepika Padukone said she'll cooperate with investigations. She flew into Mumbai with husband and actor Ranveer Singh in tow. Tomorrow she'll be questioned alone initially and then apparently face to face with Karishma. And this is where it could get extremely tricky.
Bang on, Gaurav, because all the time since Goa, when her name came on, NCB gave summons to Deepika Padukone. She was with a battery of all the legal teams, the top legal eagle of Mumbai. They all with her. Then all the time, Ranveer Singh stood very firm with her. But tomorrow is the day, just few hours from now, when Deepika Padukone will be facing the NCB officials. Tonight is a big night for her because never ever she would have wondered that she would have to face NCB officials in a drug case. Now, first of all, the NCB, the chats are out, and the chats, it's clearly seen that how Deepika Padukone is talking about drugs. Now, the person with whom she is talking is Karishma. She's already been questioned by the NCB officials today. She was questioned for around 4 to 5 hours, Gaurav. Now, what tomorrow is going to happen? First, Deepika Padukone will be questioned separately alone by the NCB officials. And once that questioning is over, it will be face-to-face questioning with Karishma. This is when the pressure will mount on Deepika. It will be very interesting to see what she answers because, because NCB has all the evidences with them. They also have the statement of Karishma which has been given today. Now they will put forth all these evidences in front of Deepika Padukone. Now then, to refuse them, to not answer them, it will actually create more trouble for Deepika. So a big day in the Bollywood
but as of now, Saurabh, for the benefit of our viewers, this superstar is only being questioned. She is not an accused in any case. They only want to get, NCB wants to get to the bottom of this drug case where they want to know where the drugs came from, who made payment, how was payment made, what was the quantity, small quantities for self-consumption or were bigger quantities coming in. Was this an organized racket in Bollywood? And Munish, at this stage, Rakul Preet's interrogation becomes extremely interesting. So does Karishma. Does it all add up? And do we have any clarity? How is it that Deepika is said to have been the administrator of this WhatsApp group on drug chat?
Yeah, well, Gaurav, this is going to be very crucial because this WhatsApp group was between three people. One is Jaya Shah, the senior employee of Pon Talent Management Company. The second person was Karishma, another employee of Pon, and the third person was Deepika. The initial purpose of this chat group was to promote Deepika Padukone in the Bollywood industry. But now what we have been given to understand is that on 28 October 2017, this chat emerged between Karishma and Deepika Padukone, in which she is asking whether you have mal or not. With mal, she was referring to narcotic substances, banned narcotic substances, hash and weed. And this is what is going to trouble Deepika Padukone because remember, if she accepts that this was a chat conversation between Karishma and she indeed procured drugs for Deepika Padukone, which the NCB
More breaking
asked
news
Karishma
coming
today,
in. There
but
is more breaking news coming in. Munish, stay with me for a moment. And this is big for the benefit of our viewers. Not only will Deepika Padukone be questioned by top officers of the NCB, including the head of the team, there's also a confrontation planned with others in the case, and it could be more than one. So information that we are getting at this point of time is that a team of 3 officers of the NCB, the Narcotics Control Bureau, will question actor Deepika Padukone. KPS Malhotra, he's heading this SIT. Sunil Kumar, who's the investigation officer of this case, and Neeraj Kumar, the intelligence officer. So this is a team of 3 that will question actor Deepika Padukone initially one-on-one. On the basis of her answers, then she will be confronted with the others in this case who've already been spoken to, including Karishma in this case. And Saurabh Akhtania, if I could quickly bring you in for more on this story, Deepika Padukone will be asked to give all her answers in writing. Munish, all answers in writing is what we are told. She writes down the answers herself, or she dictates it to an NCB officer, but she has to sign on what she said. It's going to be a legal document after tomorrow's questioning.
Well, Gaurav, there is a procedure which is followed by the Narcotics Control Bureau. All these statements are recorded under NDPS Act, and the recording procedure is whenever the person is being questioned by the Narcotics Control Bureau, and this team of SIT will be questioning Deepika Padukone, then the answers are written first by an officer, then again the same answer will be shown to Deepika Padukone, because these statements are admissible in the court. Remember, in the case of Rakul Preet, whatever she has said, that statement will be presented before the court, and the court will decide whether Rakul Preet Singh will be charged or not. Same procedure will be followed with Deepika Padukone, and difficulty is going to be for Deepika Padukone, because if she accepts that the drugs were for her, the NCB is going to charge her. If she accepts that these drugs were for someone else, then it is going to be more difficult for Deepika Padukone, because then the charges will be of not only facilitation but also harboring of drugs. So of course trouble is mounting for Deepika Padukone. Only way Deepika Padukone can survive this questioning is if there was no drugs delivered to Deepika Padukone by a person called named Amit, who Karishma has referred in the chat. But NCB claims that they have more evidence against Deepika Padukone, and on the basis of same...
Munish, stay with me. We will continue talking about this in greater detail, but let's take a look at the line of questioning that will take place tomorrow. What is extremely interesting at this point of time is the fact that actor Deepika Padukone, in less than 12 hours from now, will be facing a team of the Narcotics Control Bureau. What's also extremely interesting is that as of now, apart from these WhatsApp chats and conversations, the NCB is still looking for corroborative evidence. Can the legal team get away by saying this conversation took place, but no drugs came? Because where is the evidence that drugs came to any party or drugs were consumed? Where is the evidence at this point of time? This is the line of questioning that the NCB intends to follow tomorrow.
The Narcotics Control Bureau is casting its wide. Ahead of Deepika Padukone's questioning, sources in the NCB say it could investigate a video of an alleged party shot at filmmaker Karan Johar's house on 30th July 2019. The video that was posted by Johar and had gone viral then features Deepika and many other big names like Shahid Kapoor and Ranbir Kapoor. This spells trouble for Deepika, who returned to Mumbai from Goa Thursday night to face NCB's grilling on Saturday. The actor looked composed as she landed in Mumbai. She was accompanied by her husband Ranveer Singh. Deepika's WhatsApp chats with her manager Karishma Prakash in October 2017 allegedly shows her seeking mal and specifically hash.
They are going to ask her whether Deepika consumed drugs, whether she was procuring drugs, who was the person supplying drugs to her, who all were helping her procure these drugs. Was she giving these drugs to some other person, or was she buying it, procuring it for herself or self-consumption?
Deepika, daughter of sporting legend Prakash Padukone, is known for taking challenging roles, speaking her mind and at times taking a political stand. Today, the actor who had spoken out her struggles with depression is facing one of the biggest challenges of her life. With inputs from Divyesh Singh and Munish Pandey in Mumbai, Bureau Report, India Today.
News just coming in, a senior member of Dharma Productions, Karan Johar's Dharma Productions, a senior member, Kshitij Prasad. He is an executive producer and EP at Dharma Production, has now been detained by the Narcotics Control Bureau. I quickly want to cut across to India Today's Munish Pandey for more on this. So, how does Kshitij Prasad fit into these investigations? Why has he been detained?
Well, Gaurav, to give a brief background about this person, Kshitij Prasad. Now, remember, he is the person who was named by a drug peddler who was arrested in Riya Chakravarti's case. Now, that drug peddler, during the questioning, told the NCB officials about Kshitij Prasad that he has also supplied drugs to Kshitij Prasad, who works as an executive producer for Dharma Productions. Earlier, he was working with Balaji Telefilms. But yesterday, the NCB team, after getting the information, they went to his residence in Warsaw of Mumbai, but he was not in Mumbai, he was in Delhi. So this morning when he arrived in Mumbai, then he was detained by the Narcotics Control Bureau, and then he was taken to his residence. During the search operation at his residence, small quantity of marijuana was in fact recovered by the Narcotics Control Bureau, and from the entire day, almost from 9 to 10 hours, he was questioned by the Narcotics Control Bureau, and now he has been detained. NCB officials have told India Today that there is a high possibility that he will be placed under arrest tonight or by tomorrow morning. So again, one person from the Bollywood industry has been detained.
Stay with me, an executive producer of Dharma Productions. Okay, this becomes extremely interesting at this stage. Dharma Productions, Karan Johar's party is under the scanner. There are some reports that seem to indicate that the Narcotics Control Bureau want to understand more about a party that was thrown, and some of those images are actually playing out on your television screen. Divyesh Singh also joins me for more. So Divyesh, how does Kshitij fit into this larger scheme of things when it comes to investigations into drugs in Bollywood?
Gaurav, as Munish pointed out, that Kshitij Prasad was under the scanner of NCB since peddlers who were arrested in the same case as Riya Chakrabarti, they were interrogated and name of Kshitij Prasad came to light. Based on those details, based on that disclosure, Kshitij Prasad was issued summons, but he was not in town. And when he arrived this morning in Mumbai, after that, his house was searched, and NCB placed him, took him in, for interrogation at their Mumbai-based office, where he was being interrogated since afternoon. And now we've got official confirmation from senior officials of Narcotics Control Bureau that he's been placed under detention, and it is highly likely that could be shown arrested in a few hours or by morning.
Divyesh and Munish, for the moment, many thanks for joining me. Gentlemen, keep tracking the latest on the story. I will come back to you. Many say that this is the beginning of a massive cleanup operation in Bollywood. Drugs and Bollywood, perhaps the worst kept secret of Tinseltown, now spilled out in the open when it came to Sushant Singh Rajput death investigations. Initially, it was claimed that Sushant Singh Rajput died by suicide, but his family lawyer, his father's lawyer, former Additional Solicitor General Vikas Singh, insists that he's been told by a forensic doctor at the prestigious All India Institute of Medical Sciences that it was death by strangulation. He says that this drug investigation is just a side story, and the CBI, according to him, is delaying the investigations.
Movie mafia, murder, money laundering, drugs. Nearly 3 months after Sushant Singh Rajput's death, the case and the investigation has changed several directors. The prime accused in the case, Riya Chakrabarti, charged with abetment to suicide, is in jail on drug charges. The CBI, which was handed over the case on 19th August, is yet to conclude its probe. All eyes are now on the AIIMS medical report that has studied that late actor's viscera and the pictures of his body to find out if Sushant Singh Rajput died by suicide or if he was murdered. The AIIMS team led by Dr. Sudhir Gupta has studied the ligature marks on Sushant's neck, his post-mortem and viscera reports and the crime scene reconstruction details. It is medical team report that will answer whether Sushant hanged himself or did someone strangulate him. But the delay in investigation seems to be frustrating the actor's family. Sushant's sister, Shweta Singh Kirti, took to Twitter and asked, when will the truth be out? Sushant's family lawyer, on Friday, questioned the CBI investigation and made a sensational claim that a doctor who is part of the AIIMS team had told him long ago that photos of Sushant's body indicated that he was strangulated.
Now, a senior doctor of AIIMS, seeing the picture himself, makes a statement that this is 200% death by strangulation and it can't be a suicidal death at all.
However, Vikas Singh's claims have been dismissed by head of AIIMS panel. Dr. Sudhir Gupta has said the lawyer's claims are incorrect. He says that the investigation is still going on and nothing can be concluded by just seeing the ligature marks.
एक हफ्ते से सीबीआई टीम यहाँ आके दिल्ली आके बैठी हुई है और एम्स की टीम यहाँ बैठ करके वेट कर रही है उनकी मीटिंग की और आज तक मीटिंग नहीं हो रही, तो कहीं ना कहीं एक डिले करने का बड़ा एक गंभीर समस्या इसमें उठ रहा है जिसके लिए परिवार बहुत चिंतित है.
The focus of the Sushant death mystery seems to have now shifted from murder probe to drug trail, with top Bollywood stars being summoned by the Narcotics Control Bureau. The actor's family lawyer says the drug angle is derailing the probe.
अक्यूज्ड के कहने से किसी का नाम अगर जोड़ा नहीं जा सकता है इतने आसानी से. अक्यूज्ड तो 10 आदमी को बदनाम करना चाहेगी, इसलिए अक्यूज्ड तो कुछ भी बोल दे. उस अक्यूज्ड के बोलने को तो कोर्ट नहीं मान सकता, ना उसको प्रोसिक्यूशन को मानना चाहिए. तो इसलिए मेरे हिसाब से जो दिशा जा रही है इस इन्वेस्टिगेशन की, वो दिशा जरा घबराने वाली है परिवार के लिए.
What happened to the Justice for SSR campaign that swept the nation after the actor's death? Has the focus of the case shifted? Will the truth about Sushant's death mystery ever be revealed? India awaits answers to these questions. Bureau Report, India Today.
India Today TV, along with 70 other news channels, is a proud member of the News Broadcasters Association since 2007. We strictly follow the code of ethics and guidelines issued by NBSA. Beware of unregulated channels.
Identifying the dead body through the strips from across all capacity.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.